I'm Veronique.
And I'm Sylvia.
Welcome to the High Vibes and the Mind podcast,
where multicultural moms connect.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our episode. I hope you're all ready because we're diving back into a captivating discussion about angels. There's so much more to unpack, so let's not waste any time. Whether you tune in for the first time or coming back for more, I guarantee you'll find something fascinating in this episode. That's a very good way to put it. Very good way to put it. I have one last question, but before I go, Sylvia, do you want to add anything? Maybe from everything we said, maybe do you have like another question that popped up?
I just loved what you said about when you're just like with your thoughts, not really paying attention, just like your random thoughts, and to notice what you're thinking about. This is I've never heard that one before, to be honest. And it's so important to know, because that's what you're just like your automatic thoughts, right? Things that you're just thinking day to day.
That's driving the car. And I think we need to really remember that 5 minutes when you're paying attention is only going to get you to the next block. That 20 hours where you are offline, just doing whatever, is driving the car. So if you keep ending up at the wrong destination, don't look at the time when you are actively paying attention. Look at what's in that subconscious mind and then access it to clear it through the heart. And by that, I mean lovingly say to yourself, I used to be the queen of condemnation. So, I had money doesn't grow on trees, so I made sure money was difficult to acquire. And then I would say, you are so worthless that, of course, you didn't get the raise or the promotion or whatever, or this job pays only a small amount. This is all you're worth. Now, if I were to think, gee, I need to have more money coming in, I would say, let me open up to my angelic helpers, and they can show me all of the ways in which money can be flowing to me more easily, more quickly, with greater assurance. Let me move from this place because I recognize as a child of the divine, I am worthy. Doesn't make me more worthy than anyone else, but it allows me to receive the blessing that is flowing forth on everyone. Because I had also that very disruptive talk going on. Well, I really need this, God, but I heard Susie's mother has cancer and Susie's little, and you need to go help her. So, you know what? Put my thing on hold. I'll be okay here, even though it's -30 and I'm wearing a sweater because I'll be okay. And I'll just wait for you to work on Susie's mother. Meanwhile, Susie's mother can be saying, I want out of here. Don't take me now. But I'm trying to orchestrate the whole world. So, I'm and denying whatever blessing I wanted because I was feeling unworthy. So you can't take something from someone and you can't give something to someone that they don't want. But there is more than enough for all. So receive that, which is meeting the desires of your heart, because from your fullness, you can give freely. And from your emptiness, you can give nothing.
This is beautiful.
It is hard learned, but I am so grateful.
Yeah. Sure, it took a while to learn all of this.
It did. I remember having quiet prayer time, and saying to them, I'm beginning to understand your magnificence. But I don't think that I would have gotten here without everything that happened, because I wasn't ready to let go of my need to control. So if I ever forget who you are, you have my permission to send me through all that horror again so that I will remember how much I honor, love, and require this partnership.
Okay. Well, great conversation. I have a last question because I heard about that term with other people and I'm still not sure what it means. And I saw that we talk about that also. Can you tell us a little bit about the 5D conscious state? What
Oh,
is
yes. Oh,
this?
well, we are in this wonderful time when we are expanding at a greater rate than we ever have before. And it is a way to expand more into the divine consciousness as opposed to just being a citizen of the earth. So Jesus said, you are in the earth, but not of it. And this is actually living that statement. So you recognize, yes, I am on the earth. I am a citizen of the earth. But then you go beyond just the physical and you allow yourself to really experience the spiritual so that your life is lived from that greater awareness, from that spiritual consciousness of unity with all beings. And then you would be living in that place of understanding. All are blessed, not one group. I know it's very popular. I want to be one of the 144 chosen. I say to those people, what in the world makes you think that God would choose 144,000 people and tell the rest of us that we're worthless? I don't
I'm
fathom
sorry, where
how.
is that numbers coming from? Because I never had that number before. Is that a
Oh,
particular community?
no, there is I think it's Old Testament,
Oh,
where
okay.
it says something about there's 144,000 who have been chosen.
Okay.
Now, when I asked my divine partnership about this, I said, what's up with this 144,000? This is really confusing. And now we've got all these people that are running around and saying they're part of the 144 and the rest of you just stink. And I'm saying, this can't be. First of all, it's so totally out of alignment with the divine. And what makes somebody better than another? If we're all equal, if you love us equally, Jesus again says, the blessings flow, the rain is on the just and the unjust alike. There is no person that is better than another. Some people have gotten further in their journey toward completion, their enlightenment and awareness of the divine than others, but they are no more loved. They are just more aware. They would be spending more time in that 5D consciousness state. But they are not more loved than you and I would be. They're just probably an older soul. They've had more time to pursue this relationship with the divine. But the 144,000 was created in that Old Testament period.
Yeah. The
It
Old
was,
Testament. Anyway,
yes,
it's the
and
Old Testament.
it was supposed to be inclusive. It was the Jewish tribes, and there were 12 tribes, saying that 12 times the 12 tribes times the 12 months meant that everyone who was within one of these tribes or had been born under one of these astrological signs or within one of these months was considered a child of God. And to them, since there were so few people that they knew existed, that 12 times 12 was 144, and they magnified it and thought, they were being wonderfully inclusive. But now here we are with millions of people on the earth, and we've got people who somehow think that they can just hollow out this little core group and they're going to be the more blessed ones than the rest of us. So it's just a confusion of thought, and it's a misunderstanding of who the divine are.
Yeah.
If we truly know them through our heart, we know there is no way that any of us can be rejected. We do have to understand that our actions may not be condoned. It is acceptable for the divine to say, murderer, that is not an action that I'm going to support. Pedophile, rapist, all these heinous crimes, these are not actions that I can support. But you, the being that is you, I will always love. You will always be welcome in my heart, but your actions will not be supported.
Yeah, people like to pick and choose from the Bible sometimes, what will fit them better and say,
Yeah,
okay, I'm the
I like this
chosen,
part, right?
I'm the chosen
I'm
one,
so good.
and you're bad, and you
Right.
don't fit in what is saying, in the Bible, but
Yeah, you
yeah,
don't pray the same way I
that's
do, or
dangerous.
you
Yeah.
don't look the same way I do, or whatever other silly thing they've put on there. It makes them believe that their God would believe as they do, because they don't understand who this being is, which is love for all, without exceptions.
And I think it also is not only related to religion and churches. A lot of New Age organizations fall in that trap as well, right? So it's not like, let's not talk about churches like as
Exactly.
being we see it all exactly the same thing with different concepts, different
Oh,
ideas on the New Age. So
absolutely. We got the whole, I'm better than you sect in that community just as much. It's any time people start wanting to discover the divine, but forget to check their ego at the door, they start giving God their characteristics. And some of those characteristics are going to be the same stuff working in them that they really should have purified. If we could find someone that was pure enough so that they had which I think Jesus is the closest that we ever have known to exist. If we could find that being that was so pure that there was no ego interference, then yes, they probably could tell us, exactly how to be, and it would be perfect.
right.
But for the most part, all of these groups and systems and ways of being are created by someone who is still learning and growing themselves.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, whether it was started thousands of years ago or yesterday, um,
still
be
the same.
careful about any kind of restriction that you're placing on God. The one restriction that I know of that they have is that they will not ever change. They see them, they are complete, and they have chosen to be love, joy, and peace. So if you can't meet them there, it's unlikely that you will meet their fullness.
Well, Dr. Marcia Martin, thank you very much, for coming to our podcast today. It was really informative, really interesting. Where can people, we're going to put everything in the description, of course, from the podcast, but where can people reach you if they want to take one of your class or talk to you?
Yes, come join us.
Mhm.
We have just become a nonprofit, so we are now the hearthealingfoundation.org. And so I'm still offering individual counseling. That is a set fee. But the group counseling is now pay what you can so that we can open our hearts to everyone who is ready to recover from that abuse and trauma or to grow spiritually. or just to feel better, to be inspired, to just know what it's like to walk with the angelic community and get that support and guidance. So we welcome everyone, and come as you are. Come to give, come to receive. Come as you are welcome here with us.
I have one friend I'm going to tell her about you because Sylvia, you know who I'm talking about. You already did something with her and tried to help her.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I think she should talk to you guys because I think that's something will really fit the issue. She has a lot of trauma and she gave her will to other people. So because of tradition and because of when she's from the country and everything, she believes in a lot of things that I don't think are true. And she gave really her power to other people. And because of that, I don't think she's really happy. So I think I'm going to talk to her about, your foundation, and I'm going to ask her to contact you because I'm sure you can help her. Definitely.
And everybody is asked to, just fill out a short form. And then
Hmm.
we have a brief call before you would go into any kind of, just so I can understand where you are and you can understand I'm not here to judge you. There are people who have had horrible things happen to them and they are often afraid to share. And I tell them,
Yeah.
if you knew what I have been through, you would understand I'm never going to judge you. I am probably going to congratulate you for being able to make it this far and be amazed by your strength, but I am never going to judge you or condemn you.
And everything is done by phone, or people can come to your. You have like
No, it is by Zoom
by
now.
Zoom. Okay, by
Yes.
Zoom. All right.
Everybody is spread out all over.
Mm-hmm.
So Zoom is the easiest way for us to be together all at the same time.
Okay. And you're able to meditate and everything, and talk to the angels when you're doing all the Zoom call. Yeah.
Yes. I don't have in my mind the amount of information that I need in order to help you completely. So I'll give you an example. There was a woman who came to me and she said, I'm really struggling with claustrophobia. And now I've gotten a new job and I need to take an elevator. And it's just, white knuckles while I'm in the elevator. And I can't live my life like this. This is just crippling. And so she and I were talking a little bit, and she's explaining about things that had happened in her childhood. But I'm not really getting any light bulbs about, there had to have been something that created this reaction. So I said, okay, well, let's go into the heart. But before we do that, let me just have a moment here to hear from the angelic community about where we are going. What's the place that we're going to be looking for? And so they give us this direction for her. And we get to there, and she starts describing the place because everybody has a connection. So you'll either hear them, see them, or feel them. And it doesn't matter. All of them, again, are equal. So I have a friend who can see them and I can hear them. And I used to think, oh, if I could only see them. One is not better than the other. It's more perfectly attuned to who you are and the way that you operate and the way that you receive information. So I was asking her to describe this area that she had gotten to. And they were asking questions like, how does this thing feel? Oh, it's smooth. And I said, does it have a temperature? Is it feeling cool or hot? Or, what's your reaction to that? Oh, it's very smooth and it kind of feels like metal. And, and she just kept describing this sort of flat surface. And then I'm hearing, ask her if it's a freezer. I'm thinking,
Ooh,
oh boy.
oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, a freezer? I'm like, okay, it's on you, angels. If you make a case and make me out to be a fool, it's on you. But I'm gonna ask her. Now I say very tentatively, is it a freezer? And there's silence. And I'm thinking, oh, I've just made a biggest ass of myself I could possibly do. This woman thinks I'm crazy. Then she says, I had forgotten all about that. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, when I was little, I think she was 4 or 5, we had a lot of unsupervised playtime, and I had older brothers and sisters, and we were playing hide and seek. And one of the times that we were playing, I locked myself into a freezer and was stuck for hours.
Oh
And
my
it
God.
completely traumatized her.
Of
But
course.
she had pushed it so far back in her subconscious mind that she was no longer able to access the memory. And
That's
then when we
amazing.
went into the heart and she felt safe, she was able to remember. And so we could take away that negative experience and let her realize, oh, I'm big now. There are safety features on freezers. I would know how to get out of something. I don't have to keep holding this experience. And was safe then, and I am safe now. So she took a deep breath. Okay, I can get on the elevator again.
Wow.
It completely shocked me. As I said,
Wow.
my brain doesn't have the
Yeah.
information needed in order to help you find the place that is holding you prisoner. I have to go to them and say, show me what caused this present day problem.
You just like say, go through everything and help her in her life because claustrophobia is it's horrible. It can just stop you from living. So you
And
just
yes, and it will, because
yeah.
unfortunately, we don't live in a world that is always roses and champagne. There are a lot of uncomfortable, horrible things that are happening, and it can be enough to just make you unable to function. And
Yeah.
it's even, I work with people who are contemplating suicide, who have just reached the end of the road. I worked with one woman who would tell me, I know how I'm going to do it. And sometimes I go out and look at this thing to decide whether this is the time that I need to just end it or whether I can keep going for another day. Now, in that particular case, the only energy that I have ever met that is capable of bringing you back from that is the energy of the Christ. Suicide is such a pervasive and destructive emotion
Yeah.
that you need that no holds barred, unconditional love and acceptance to envelop you so that you can come back far enough from that energy's interference to really recognize, oh, what was I thinking? We've got to give you distance. And the only energy that I know that can give you that distance is the energy of the Christ. So that's why I say this work has to be done in the heart. If you try to think about it, you can think about it and talk about it, but you can't get the distance that you can get when you are enveloped by love and feel safe.
And that's something you can just share with them. You can help them, I mean, to give them that kind of energy and from love and everything.
Well, because I can bring in the energy of the Christ so
Okay.
powerfully now, it automatically will connect to you. You
Mm.
may not have in the beginning. I don't expect you to know how to do this. So they call it the first month. We usually work for several months together. And the first month we work together, they say, you're in the incubator. We don't expect you to be able to hold the energy or to interact with the energy. because there's so much darkness that has been built up over the years. But as you get lighter and lighter, you'll have more room and you'll have more understanding and more feel safer working with these energies, and you'll be able to do it on your own. But in the beginning, no, I just hold the space.
Great. Interesting. You have a very interesting job.
I love my job.
Yeah.
It is, and it's funny because I didn't truly in the beginning understand the power of this work until I was working with someone for me on something completely different. And we got talking about something and then agreed that we were going to do a meditation or something. And I just automatically brought in the energy of the Christ because that's my greatest, he is my first line of energy. That I cannot do anything without that energy. So that's always first one in. And I brought that in and the other person said, "Oh, what did you just do?" I said, "Oh, I just opened my heart to receive to fully to that Christ energy." And she said, "Oh, it's so lovely." So,
You too.
yeah, so I was like, "Oh, that's what's happening when I pull you into my space and the Christ is here waiting. You receive this, whether you are recognizing it or not. Your heart recognizes it. You can take a deeper breath. You can relax a little more. And then by the time we actually go and clear the negative energy, now you can and I work on a number scale with you. So we might go in on a 10 and we will leave somewhere, hopefully a 0, but definitely on the lower end of the scale of you feeling like, oh no, I can't relate to that energy anymore. It's not present in me. It's not available to me. Now I have this beautiful replacement energy. I've got this new thing that I can hold on to. And
Power, it's the power of
also
divine
because
love.
yes,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand it in the beginning because I am a romantic to the core. So love for me was just, oh, that love that we experience between people and relationships. And that love can hurt and wound and make you feel broken. And so I was just like, love, yeah, okay, uh, okay, we'll try. But, it doesn't always seem to be that positive an experience. But oh my gosh, it's not the same animal. It is not the same thing. It is similar,
Yeah.
but whew, divine love wipes you off the planet with its ability to lift you from wherever you are.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
And the loveliest thing is you never come back down. It's not that, oh, I've just met the love of my life. And then
Yeah.
after years of being together, oh, well, with that the divine love, it's just you are ever exploring new highs, new ways in which you understand what it is they are offering and how you can become part of it. But not just you, everyone. And so it's just beautifully expansive and inclusive. And that, getting back to that 5D question, is what 5D is.
Okay.
Living in that expansive, inclusive energy of unconditional love and acceptance while you are still in your physical body dealing with your physical life.
All right. So the physical body, is it the 3D?
Yes. I mean, have chosen to be in dense physical bodies to have the experience of growth. But our consciousness is not stuck within the body. It can grow and expand and evolve. So the consciousness is expanding and connecting with other conscious expanders. But the physical is still your physical body. Although the physical body can receive benefits too. The more of the divine that you bring in, the more the physical body is able to be in a greater state of health.
Yeah.
And I want to identify that because sometimes we have chosen a physical journey that comes with a disability or a physical ailment for the purpose of understanding that ailment or what life would be like with that physical disability, not because of punishment, but because of what we will learn from interacting with it. So you could be a saint and still have cancer, or you could be a saint and still have a disability, but you would be functioning at the highest end of your ability in the physical body as opposed to the lowest.
Okay.
So there's always a benefit to being in divine alignment, but there are limits to it because of what you may have chosen to experience here while you're in this physical body. In other words, let's say I really want to be a basketball player, but I personally am 5'2". My likelihood of being a basketball player in this life is not very realistic. Now, I can be as perfectly aligned with the divine as possible, but my physical ability to be a professional basketball player is probably not going to happen, even though I'm in perfect alignment. So we can't, it doesn't always line up the way we think it should. However, you should experience more physical well-being with the divine connection because it does regenerate the body.
So I guess you believe in reincarnation?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
I don't think we can fully process the magnitude of the divine in one time away from them. Because when we die, we immediately go back into that heart of oneness. And we need the separation to really understand the magnitude. So I don't believe that 100 years here
Yeah.
would be enough to teach us all we need to learn. There's just too much. It's too vast, too grand, too glorious. And we are all being given that opportunity to become more. It's a gift, but it's a gift that is slow in being unveiled on purpose. Because, can you imagine getting hit with the magnitude of what the divine are and yet not being able to speak? I think it would just be too overwhelming. It would just fry our
That's
circuits.
true.
Too much for us to process.
Yeah, that's for another conversation, I think, because we like to talk about reincarnation here. So but that would be for another conversation. I think we're out of time. It was a lovely, lovely interview, lovely conversation. Sylvia, do you want to add anything?
No, I think, yeah, we covered it all. Yeah. Part of it. I mean, all that we wanted to cover for
Okay.
today.
Yeah, for today, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if people want to reach you, we are going, of course, to add all the information in the podcast description.
Thank you
Uh,
so much. And
Thank
all
you.
are welcome. There is
Yeah.
don't worry if you are loving your religion. I'm not going to take anything
Oh.
from you that brings you value and joy.
Mhm.
The only thing that we help you, and you get to choose, the only thing that I help you let go of are those things that are holding you in negative behavior patterns that are causing you heartache and pain.
Well, thank you very much for those last words. And well, we hope everybody, appreciate this conversation. And if you need help from the angels, you know who to ask.
Please, yes, please call upon them. That's the other thing. When I was so new in this, I was worried about. I love the way I'm trying to run God's life for them, but I was like, God, I'm a little concerned that I'm asking the angels for so many things, and I feel like maybe I need to pull back a little, and I should be more able to figure things out. What am I doing? I ask them for everything. And they explained to me that the angels, even though they have never experienced a physical lifetime, they also are evolving. They have the same journey. They have the same desire. We want always to grow in our connection with the divine, to become more as they are. The angels also have the opportunity to grow and to be more like the divine. But we do it through physical incarnations. They do it by helping us. So when you are calling on the angels, you are giving them an opportunity to grow, just as they are giving you the opportunity to grow.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I
Awesome. I love
never
it.
think about calling the angel actually. Always. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Marcia Martin, for coming, and thank you for your time.
Thanks so much
you.
for having me and for creating this wonderful space and great questions and allowing me to have this wonderful discussion with you. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
We did too.
We did, yeah.
Thank you
That's
very
awesome.
much, and have a good week. Bye.
All right.
Sending
Bye.
much love. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you for listening today. May your journey towards spiritual fulfillment never end. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and exploring. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest.